it's Kate from The Lifestyle Lady. How are you? How are you doing? Hope your week's going well. Today's video, I wanted to share with you a little sneaky Ulta haul I did recently. I bought a few bits and I thought you might be interested, so let's crack on. So if you've been following me for a long time, you'll know that recently I've been suffering a tiny, and I mean a small amount, probably with a little bit of milia, which is like, if you're not familiar with it, it's like little white hard bumps under the skin. I've probably got about 3 this side and 4 this side, and then I can describe them only as the kind of area on your face where your sunglasses hit your skin, if that makes sense. So kind of where I'm pointing here and here, really kind of where I put my blusher and highlighter. Now luckily you can't really see too much, and to the kind of naked eye it's really not as bad as it could be. Some people have it dreadfully and it's awful, but I'm not comfortable with it. I've always tried to care for my skin, so this is kind of slightly freaking me out. I want to go to a dermatologist. As many of you all know, I'm relatively new to the area, and the 1 or 2 friends I've made don't really have a great recommendation of a dermatologist yet. And so I want to do some research, and while I'm doing that I thought, well, why not try to see whether I can remove it at home, because the bumps are quite small. And so my understanding is a dermatologist would probably lance them, pierce them, but I'm not sure if they're big enough to do that too. So I thought, let's see if I can up the ante on my skincare, focus my skincare to tackling this particular issue, and see if I can get rid of them myself. I do love a challenge. So I will tell you this, I have been, since I arrived back, which is just kind of over to couple of weeks, been focusing on it, and I am seeing an improvement. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, recommended these Peter Thomas Roth Max Complexion Correcting Pads. Now my very brief understanding of milia is that it is like little bits of oil that have formed under the pores that can't release through. Let me preface that this is for people who have normal oily combination skin. Now generally I don't have oily skin, so I will be using these, but simply on the areas here and here where I have the milia. I won't be toning across my face with these. I'm just going to use it on the problem areas and use my usual toner for the rest. So while I'm on my mission for improving the little bit of milia I have and getting great skin, I've really noticed the difference, I think, with the exfoliation that I've been doing more regularly and more rigorously. Now, this is kind of not related to the Ulta haul, but one of the things I've noticed is that I've always kind of shied away from too aggressive exfoliations, particularly on my face, or exfoliating too often, because I have rosacea and high pigmentation and quite a lot of sensitivity. So it's always been kind of like I've been reluctant to push my skin too far. Whereas now I have a different method. This year my method is going to be not horrendously abrasive exfoliation, but to tackle exfoliation and get my skin ready for summer. Oh yeah. So with that mission in mind, I bought a few things relating to kind of my escapade on exfoliation. So the first thing I got was one of these. It was relatively cheap, and it's the Eco Tools Foot Brush and Pumice. I love to go sockless. I love nothing more than ballet pumps with no socks or tights or things. And actually, when I'm around the house, I just love to be barefoot. Now, I believe this is a genetic thing because little Elle is exactly the same. But as you can imagine, when you avoid wearing socks and tights and all the other things and shoes, your feet do get sort of hard quite quickly. So I'm wanting to sort of soften them up and get them ready. I mean, I do have fairly regular pedicures, but I mean, I'm sure they wince at how disgusting the bottom of my feet are. So this is for my feet. I'm going to soften those suckers up, and this is going to help me. Keeping on with that theme, I bought some of these. I've had these before. These are the bath and shower gloves. I love these. These are my second pair. I find these better than the kind of loofahs and all the other sort of brushes and all the other things, because first of all, you can control very much how aggressive you are with it. If you're somebody who doesn't like certain products on the skin, or you do have a lot of sensitivity to particular things in exfoliators, these work just really well with just your regular body wash. So they're great, and they can go in the washing machine too, which is super duper good. So you can keep them relatively clean. These are not the horrendously aggressive ones, but I really like them. So I should be using those. You're getting an image of me just white gloving myself. Oh, lovely. Carrying on with that theme, I also bought an exfoliating body sponge. None of these were expensive at all, just to try and help me a little bit with my back. Maybe it's just me, but I'm constantly kind of like wanting to scratch. I mean, I love to have my back scratched, TMI, but I find that I'm always like this. And I think a lot of it's because in the cooler months, you know, heating's on, you're layered up more, you can't quite get your body cream down the back, and so your skin gets a little dry, and when mine gets a little dry, I get a little itchy and do the itchy dance. If you're not a beauty junkie, you won't really know this, but there's a lot of research and a lot of interest in Korean beauty. Now, I don't know if you know, we're talking about South Korea, obviously. South Korean ladies have like, I think it's like an 11-step skin routine. They are religious about their skin. It is beautiful alabaster. They have beautiful, beautiful skin. And much of it is because of the discipline they show in their 11-step routine. Maybe I'll do a video on the 11 steps that they do. I'll somehow get some information. Anyway, I digress. Surprise, surprise. So I was really shocked in Ulta to find that some Korean masks had made their way to Ulta. And I'm loving the fact that these kind of what I call sheet masks are so popular because they're so much less messy. You can control how much product you put on your face, and you can just throw them away afterwards. They're so brilliant. I love it. And you're left with product you can massage in. So I bought 2 to give them a try. One of them is the brightening recovery mask, which treats dull skin, uneven skin tone and blemishes. Good. And the other one was the moisturising, which deals with dry, rough and depleted skin. So both of these should be great for me. So I'm going to give them a try and I will report back. It'll be interesting to compare them to the Sephora masks, the Sephora own brand. Last night I used the pomegranate one. I really love them. I think they're really great. Okay, what else did I buy? I have been promising since the ends of the earth for a dry shampoo post. I promise it will come. But I mean, I really don't think you can beat Batiste. They come in a variety of smells. They even do colours. They do sort of slightly tinted ones to suit your roots. So cheap, so good. I will tell you that some of the more expensive ones that I've been using just irritate my scalp, and Batiste doesn't do that, and it's as cheap as chips, and you can buy it at Ulta, Target. I know in the UK you can get it at Superdrug and Boots. It's so good. And I always like to have a travel size one for either my car or my purse because, you know, you don't want to get caught looking, even mine's looking like it needs it today. Things were cosmetics, mainly because this one, I bought the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eye in brown. Mainly because if you know me, you'll know that I'm relatively newish to liquid liner. And I like it because it stays put all day, but I have relatively small eyes, and so I don't always want that kind of heavy, dark look. I talked in a previous video about my love of the L'Oreal very, very fine tipped one, which if you're a beginner to liquid eyeliner is a must. And it really does the thinnest line, which is almost too thin. Now, in my one of my Sephora Play boxes, I got a Stila pen, the black one, like this, and I've loved it. It does require a little bit more skill to apply than the L'Oreal because it's a slightly longer and thicker nib, but here's one. Now, I wanted brown because brown is slightly softer. I think it looks better on a slightly as you get more mature face. You know, I like the kind of softer look for the daytime because it still highlights your eyes, but it's not as heavy. And they do so many different colours. I was like, wow, they do greys, they do shades of blue, shades of green, and that is actually quite exciting and interesting. And so I thought, well, if this was a little less than 20 bucks, I think it retails at 22 bucks, but I might one day try the grey or the very dark blue and see if that makes a difference. But generally, I've got the brown on today. The problem is I have black mascara, so I need a really good brown mascara. So if any of you know of a really good brown mascara, please let me know. I think it looks quite elegant and not too dramatic and hard. And finally, you'll know I'm a lip junkie. Well, I was a lip junkie, and now I'm narrowing it down, purging down, and only buying what I love. One of the things I found last year, back end of last year, was Bare Minerals. Their Gen Nude lipsticks. The matte ones are to die for. I have one of them in Juju. The thing I would say is it's very, very matte, which again, I don't mind on odd occasion, but your lips have to be in excellent condition for that, because the dryness and the sort of starkness of the colour really highlights every little crevice on your lips. And so I thought, well, I'm going to get another colour because I love it so much. And when I was chatting with the girls in Ulta today, because when I went, there was literally nobody in there, they said to me, try the same range, the Gen Nudes, but try it in the gloss. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm not a big gloss person. And she said, honestly, it doesn't quite have the longevity of the mattes, which is what I love, but it's not quite as glossy as a gloss in terms of your hair sticking to it and so on and so forth. Now I've got it on today. I'm going to reapply a little bit more now. Love the applicator. Now, there's no denying, this is a gloss. It has a glossy finish. But really pretty colour. Not too sticky when you're talking, like you don't feel like your lips are going to stick together. And I do like the slight, it's maybe a tad glossy for me, but I'm going to wear it a lot. I know I am, because I really love the formulation, and I like the colour. And I think it has that slightly softer, slightly springier feeling that the matte doesn't have, which I think is going to be so useful. And boy, isn't it useful to be able to chuck something in your purse that you don't have to apply a balm or a gloss or something over the top. You can just chuck this in, whop it on, and it looks fabulous. Of course it looks fabulous. And what I liked about this is this morning when I was in there, I tried it on, I had workout gear on, I had no makeup on, and it still looked okay. So I'm going to keep this. This is the shade, I think, Must Have. Yes, Must Have. So, I mean, the title tells you everything you need to know. That's it, folky dokes. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do get in touch. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, welcome. Please do subscribe. We have a lot of fun here. Anyway, that's it for today. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week. Ta-ta for now.